Oh boy, all right, okay. It is 4 o'clock p.m. Central Time, and that means it's time for the game plan here on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. Luke Young with you live on this Monday afternoon. What a beautiful day has been outside. It's clear skies, bright, sunny. It feels great. We had a little bit of rain come overnight, so it's not super warm outside right now, but it hadn't rained all day either, so it's been kind of just for me, the perfect November day. And of course, I'm a little bit more of a fan of a green Christmas coming up here, but that's me personally. We're at Lilygrass Flowers and Decor. Mike is joining me back at the studio on this show. Before we talk about Lilygrass, Mike, thank you for joining me. I know you've had a busy day yourself, but how was your weekend?
Weekend was good. I got a lot of productivity done in the morning, and then I sat in to watch some amazing football for the rest of the evening till 3 in the morning.
Hey, there you go.
Catching highlights as well.
We had some amazing, and you're right about that, some amazing football. I mean, between the OU loss and Jameis Winston playing football by the good grace of God, Jameis Winston played football. We have a lot of fun things to talk about. But we're at Lilygrass Flowers and Decor for today's episode. Of course, we've been here multiple times. 7101 Northwest Expressway, Suite 400. Call 405-721-1813 to get in contact with Lilygrass. And you're going to want to today, especially because you're running out of time in November. The holiday sale is happening here at Lilygrass Flowers and Decor. 50% off all gifts until the end of the month. That's not any flowers or handmade items, but any different kind of gifts around the store. Some of the stuff you can see on the Facebook Live behind me, I think some of these would count as gifts, so you get them 50% off. And that's throughout the entire store. So whatever you are looking for whatever occasion, you can get it at a major discount right now as a bit of a holiday sale. Of course, speaking of sales, the autumn sale is still happening right now. 75% off any items with an orange price tag. So you can come by here and look for the autumn sale as well. Of course, if you don't know if something's on sale or not, if you're a little bit questionable about it, you can always go up and ask the friendly staff here. They will be happy to help you and to clarify any of your questions. And you know what? I'll save it for another commercial break because I'll tell you, we've got a lot to talk about happening here at Lilygrass and in this area with the holidays coming up. But yeah, I hope everybody has had a great weekend. We've got Thanksgiving coming up as well. That's kind of the next big one. Football that Friday, football this Friday, football that Friday, football the Friday after. Of course, that's not slowing down anytime soon at the high school level. And we're going to have another busy weekend this weekend, Mike. I'm telling you that right now.
Yes, we are going to be very busy this weekend.
We were super busy last week, and I know at least I was, between the football game, the college basketball games I went out to call, and what I was doing on Sunday. Super busy weekend, super busy.
Yeah.
But, Mike, let's talk a little bit about those high school football games. Our Bethany Broncos have been knocked out in the first round, but Mustang, UConn, Carl Albert, and Tuttle all advanced past the first round and are getting to play this week as well. Tell me a little bit, because you were listening to that Bethany game broadcast by John Hickman and John Campbell. Tell me a little bit just from what you remember about how that game went for the Broncos.
The Broncos are young, and their youth caught up with them. Is basically what happened. I mean, they Elgin was just overpowering. You know, Bethany's played very well, and they got a lot of great young talent. But when they go up against a team that has much more experience than them, they tend to get mauled. Is the best way to put it. And they got mauled.
Well, Elgin, you're right, is a very good team, defending state champions. That's a tough first-round matchup for anybody.
Yeah, I remember
they did score a touchdown.
And they did score a touchdown at the end. With the backup quarterback, the young kid, who's going to be dynamite because he's got some skills already, and he is young. He's like a freshman. So the future looks very bright. Remember, Bethany and Elgin went toe-to-toe. Was it Bethany and Elgin went toe-to-toe last year? No, Tuttle and Elgin went toe-to-toe.
Tuttle did, yes.
Tuttle went toe-to-toe last year. So that just tells you how good Elgin is. And Bethany... got mauled by Tuttle as well. So, and Bethany was just it's the youth factor. They're young, it's baby steps. They made it to the playoffs. That, considering how young they are, that's a good first step. And
considering how young and beat up they are, this year,
young and beat up. So next year they can build off this, and take the next step. Try to get deep into the playoffs, get to the championship game at least,
I think the future is very bright for our Broncos for sure, especially if what you're telling me about this young quarterback is true.
Yeah, because he got some game day experience, playoff experience this year, and he's a freshman. He's got 3 years left. Hold on to your butts, folks.
Starting quarterback Brody McLaren in that loss threw for 184 yards. He had a touchdown and 2 interceptions, which really hurt the team. Seth Griner had 122 yards and 1 touchdown. Marcos
Seth,
Lopez had 5 tackles, all solo, and 1 sack. He led that on the defensive end. So a couple good performances right there, man. The interceptions, right, the turnovers, that kind of thing will hurt anybody.
yeah.
Another team we're going to talk about today also had a couple interceptions, but they were able to sneak away with a win, and I think we'll talk a little bit about why coming up. But John Hickman, John Campbell, what did they think of that game? Mike, did you hear anything about that from them?
Basically, the same thing.
Same thing?
As I said, it was just the fact, their youth caught up to them, and Elgin's defending state champs, and what happened in Tuttle happened with Elgin, and between the injuries and the youth, it just caught up with them.
I got you. Yeah.
There's not much you can say. It's like, it's the nature of the game when you have such a team that, like 2 years ago and last year, that was so loaded with juniors and seniors, and they've all moved on, and so it's a bit of a rebuild. The fact that they made the playoffs, and
Right.
that the games they won at the end of the season to make the playoffs, that was a victory. And as I said, that's what you want to build on for next year.
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely a down year. A lot of people were kind of counting them out of the playoff picture entirely, and it
Yes.
came down to that 3-way tie in the final week of the season.
Yeah,
They were still able to get in. That is impressive.
They got in. They got very impressive. They took care of business the last 2 weeks, and got in.
Speaking of Seth Griner, in that game against Elgin, he actually broke the school record for most receptions in a single season.
Yeah.
I'm reading the post from the Bethany Broncos Athletics and Activities page. Congratulations to Seth Griner, who in last night's final game of the season caught 8 passes to break the record of most receptions in a single season. Seth ended the year with 70, surpassing the previous record of 66 held by Ben Lawson back in 2019. So congratulations to Griner right there. Again, 8 receptions on that one. That's already a pretty good number for a single game. 8 receptions there, and he got that for, 122 yards, another 100-plus yard game for the kid.
Yeah.
They had their talent, right? They
Yeah.
had their talent that led them to this playoff berth, and I think that talent is only going to improve as we get on in the next couple of years. So I'm right there with you. I think this team has a lot of upside. I think we should be very excited for the future of the Bethany Broncos.
Yeah. The key. Remember, another thing. Remember, they had with Bethany was they had a couple of players that transferred.
Yeah, the transfers hit them bad.
Yeah. The 6A boys came a calling and poached. So that's something they got to also watch out for.
That's going to be happening to a lot of schools just around Oklahoma anyways. There's pretty much going to be no escaping that these next coming years. You're going to have kids transfer out. You're going to have kids transfer in. No team ever looks the same year in, year out anyways, but now even more so.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking back, sorry, go ahead, Mike.
No, exactly. That's another layer that's got to be added into all this, is that between the injuries, the youth, and then the 2 standout players that got poached.
Yeah, it's an environment. It's an environment to play football.
They're gonna. I think the poaching thing is gonna get revisited here probably in another year or 2.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if they changed the rule about it. Speaking of Bethany Athletics, though, the swim team is up in Altus, Oklahoma for a swim meet today. They are at the Simmons Center up there. It's a 5 p.m. meet, so we're wishing the best of luck to the Bethany swim team. And Daniel earlier today sent me a middle school basketball bracket. It looks like they're having a tournament that is the Joe Cox basketball tournament. I'm assuming this is here in Bethany, if I had to guess. But 7th and 8th grade, both playing, boys and girls. It starts on the 20th, lasts until the 22nd. And so if you're looking, it's like what starts as early as like 12.
Yeah.
Or as early as noon or something. So it starts fairly early on. So if you're looking for some middle school basketball, we wish the middle school Broncos good luck there as well. You're going to see how they do. And then finally, as we come towards the end of this first segment, I want to touch on the other games that we and some of the other teams that we cover here on the Gospel Station at Sports and Talk. Obviously, Tuttle beat Clinton 51-6. en route to their hopeful state championship for
Yep.
the Tuttle Tigers. Starting quarterback Cruz Campbell, get this, threw for 364 yards with 6 touchdowns. He
Woo.
went 14 for 18 on pass attempts that game.
Wait. Only 14 out of 18 pass attempts?
Yep, that's what said.
Ooh, that's efficient. That's
That is
scary.
very efficient. That's the definition of an air raid offense right there.
Oof.
I think they maybe had 50 rush yards total between all their backs.
Man, that sounds like OU circa 1999. Sounds like what they were running at Texas Tech 2000, 2001, 2002. Just, insane. Like you said, pure air raid.
Very much so, which we hadn't seen from Tuttle much this year. They hadn't been pure air raid. They've always been a very, very high scoring, very dangerous passing team, but they did run the ball a lot. They did not run the ball a lot against Clinton. They destroyed that secondary from the Red Tornadoes, from what it sounds like. Jalen Lane had 3 touchdowns. Donnie Schluter had 2 touchdowns. Lane had a touchdown himself. And Jordan Lane, along with Major Vanderberg, both had an interception on the defensive side. So that was a handily victory for Tuttle there.
Wow.
On the 5A side, that's where I was at. Carl Albert defeated Duncan 45-17. Anderson Collier threw for 155 yards. He had 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. Elijah Matthews had 76 yards and 2 touchdowns, while the defense had 1 interception and 2 fumble recoveries in that game, one of which happened backed up very deep in Duncan's side of the field and set up Carl Albert perfectly to bring one home. So it was another handy win for Carl Albert right there. They even had some first play of the game action like we'd seen from Tuttle earlier that year, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of put it on Duncan from the start.
Yeah.
Then finally, UConn and Mustang, both winning. UConn 24-7 over Deer Creek and Mustang 42-17 over Norman North. In the Mustang game, Jaden O'Neal threw for 73 yards and a touchdown. He had no interceptions because they kept the ball on the ground mostly. 2 running backs with close to 100 yards. Hunter Huggins had 102 total with a touchdown, and Jaden Reyes had 97 yards with 2 touchdowns to his name. On the UConn side, Wyatt Jones threw for 121 yards with a touchdown, but he had 2 interceptions, which nearly came back to bite them, but the Miller defense stepped up in a big way with 2 sacks, 9 hurries, an interception, and a fumble recovery. Daniel Yebbett had an interception, and Braden Holiday had the fumble recovery in that win effort. So even with 2 interceptions, Mike, you see the 6A UConn Millers win, the 4A Bethany Broncos lose. A lot of that has to do, obviously, with the opposing teams they're playing, but it also speaks to the importance of having a defense that can step up and pick up an offense in a playoff game in a situation like this. It takes all phases of the game to really get a victory at this point in the year, Mike.
Yeah. As Venables calls it, complimentary football.
Complimentary football. And that's what OU played against Alabama on the road. Complimentary football en route to a major ranked upset and back-to-back road wins. We're going to talk about that all coming up here on the game plan as we get into our next segment. We are live at Lilygrass Flowers and Decor, 7101 Northwest Expressway, Suite 400. Done with the first segment of our show, getting ready for 45 more minutes. Email info@lilygrass.com or head to the website www.lilygrass.com. And while you're on the website, if you're watching on Facebook, you can look at this. They've got classes that they put on here at Lilygrass, floral design class called the DIY Make and Take Floral Design. It's the last Thursday of every month. Looks like on November that's going to be the 20th. And on December, it's going to be the 18th, and these dates have been changed around a little bit due to the holidays. You can come by and do these make and take classes. Looks like, if I've got my information still correct, $35 pick out a container and flowers. You can get help creating, or you can do it on your own. Please bring your friends and families. They've got online sign-ups and private classes for groups of 5 or more. And one of our show hosts, Miss Melanie, also does a class through the Francis Tuttle website. That's once per month, as are these, and a directed creation there. So a lot of different ways to learn about what it's like to make these floral arrangements that Lilygrass does and how much effort and creativity really go into them. It really is something impressive. So stop by Lilygrass Flowers and Decor, ask about those classes, and get yourself signed up for some of them. We're going to head to break. This is the game plan with Luke Young and Mike Gannon live at Lilygrass Flowers and Decor. 45 more minutes back after this.
C&J Sporting Goods at 6604 Northwest 38th Street has been serving Bethany and the Metro for over 30 years, with 3 generations ready to serve you with the best shopping experience of product knowledge and customer service anywhere, with a wide selection of guns, ammo, ear and eye protection, law enforcement equipment, hunting, camping, and survival gear. If they don't have it, they will order it for you. Veteran owned and family operated. Call 405-789-8102. C&J Sporting Goods.
Do it best at Evans Hardware. Since 1965, Evans Hardware has provided Midwest City with top-quality home improvement supplies and a one-of-a-kind shopping experience. At 1021 South Douglas Boulevard, Evans Hardware is family-owned and has the right products for every situation, including DIY projects, professional contracting, or quick fixes. Their satisfaction guarantee and quick turnarounds mean you'll always find what you need. So visit Evans Hardware in Midwest City.
Or call 405-732-1898. That's 405-732-1898.
Evans Hardware in Midwest City.
If you're hankering for some real Oklahoma barbecue, then get yourself on over to Earl's Rib Palace at 6816 Northwestern in Oklahoma City. They have the ribs, chicken, turkey, sides, and the cobblers that will send your taste buds on a hootin'. You need catering or planning your tailgating, Earl's Rib Palace will get you set up. Dine in with friendly customer service or carry out. You're going to savor Earl's Rib Palace. I reckon I ought to give you their phone number. It's 405-843-9922. Making mouth-watering barbecue since 1996. Earl's Rib Palace.
Your home and your car are more than just things. They're where you make your memories, and they deserve the right protection. At Blake Nightingale State Farm Insurance, well, he gets it, and that's why he's there. For your home, life insurance, car, and more, call Blake Nightingale 405-728-1313. Blake Nightingale State Farm Insurance, 7304 Northwest Expressway. Like a good neighbor, Blake Nightingale is there. State Farm Insurance.
At the home of the Gotta Have It, you'll find Apple Tree Antique Gallery, located in the heart of downtown Bethany at 6740 Northwest 39th Expressway. Enjoy spacious shopping with up to 77 unique vendors across more than 10,000 square feet, offering everything from jewelry and clothing to one-of-a-kind treasures and so much more. Don't miss our third Friday weekend specials every month, and yes, we're open Sundays. Call us at 495-0602. Apple Tree Antique Gallery in Bethany, home of the Gotta Have It.
Tanko Mechanical, Electrical, and Plumbing is a commercial and industrial contractor. They offer end-to-end client experience that includes seamless communication, budgeting, staffing, on-site organization, and its solid quality handiwork every time. The past projects include both new construction and repairs and restoration. Occupied and fully operational job sites are never a problem. They can also plan, manage, and build multi-phase jobs. We are a turnkey plumbing, electrical, HVAC, and mechanical contractor. Tanko Company, give them a call at 405-255-7804. Again, that's 405-255-7804. Tanko.
Back out a break here on the game plan on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. Thank you so much to everybody who's tuning in already. Segment number 2 coming at you live. We are on live365.com. Of course, go to thegospelstation.com, scroll down and hit the Sports and Talk tab, and that'll take you right to the station. Or you can listen live on Facebook, Gospel Station Sports and Talk there as well. You can see a little bit of Lilygrass Flowers and Decor if you do watch on the Facebook. Of course, I can show off some of the products here while I talk about these sales they've got going on. People have been coming in and out all day long, getting in on this holiday sale. 50% off all gift items in the store. That is everything but handcrafted items and the flowers back in like the refrigerator, of course. So perfect for gifts, perfect for decorations, obviously, and any other reason you would possibly want some of these items from Lilygrass Flowers and Decor. In our break here, I was showing off this little pumpkin plush, Mike, and I don't really know how to describe it except squished. He's a very squished pumpkin plush, but I point this out because he's got an orange tag, which means he's part of the autumn sale here at Lilygrass Flowers and Decor, 75% off all items that have that tag. Go to 7101 Northwest Expressway, Suite 400. See Miss Alicia Rankins and her staff. And just ask about what items you can get off because they've got these deals. Again, the holiday sale lasts towards the end of the month. Great reason to go by. You can also browse online or on their social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, Instagram, Yelp. They're on all of it. But as we get back into this, Mike, we're going to talk about some of the college football news that happened, and maybe nothing bigger than OU's win over Alabama. Of course, that wasn't the only upset, but that's the one we care about the most, right? Number 4, Alabama being knocked off. That catapults OU back into the top 10
Yeah.
on the verge of a playoff berth here, Mike.
Yeah.
We expect that after that Texas loss?
I thought they had a chance to make the playoffs. I don't think they had a chance to crawl back into the top 10, and especially after the Ole Miss loss, I was like, oh boy, they're gonna straight great. Now we got to beat Alabama. That's what was going through my mind after the Ole Miss loss at home. It's like, okay, here we go.
That is pretty fair. That is pretty fair after that Ole Miss loss. So it was 11 knocking down 4, 23-21 was the final. OU had some pretty big moments, including a huge 80-plus yard interception return for a touchdown. The defense stepped up in a big way, Mike, and I just got to point this out. I think it was 87-yard pick six officially.
Yes.
I just got to point this out. This is not the first time that I have seen linemen extremely highly graded after an OU victory like this. This time it was freshman left tackle Michael Fasusi with 29 pass block snaps, allowing zero pressures. Zero pressures on it.
Ooh.
Against a very, very tough Alabama defense. I'm just saying, something is going on the OU lineman room, and I like what I'm seeing. I think almost as much as the defense, this line is a big reason why OU is getting these wins.
It is. It sounds like after the Ole Miss game, the line finally got to wrap their heads around it, whatever they were trying to teach them, and they've now gelled. Because since that game, they've been on fire. And did you notice on the turnover side, not only was the pick, which was a classic case of, the quarterback and the receiver not being on the same page.
Oh yeah,
I went back and watched it like 3 times, and it was like, oh, he threw it somewhere he thought his receiver was going to be, and his receiver broke to the sideline instead of staying on the seam. Basically, is what he did. But did you see how many times they were pro style punching the ball out? I mean, they got one of the was it 2 of the turnovers were on that, punching the ball out, and then they had like 2 or 3 others where they almost punched the ball out, or they punched the ball out and Alabama got the ball back. So they were going for it hard. That bye week did wonders on the team. They really worked.
It is extremely good technique. That's what they do teach you. If there's a guy that's beat you, he's on a breakaway. If you can wrap him up high and try to knock that ball out, that is how every defensive coach in the nation will teach you to make that tackle if you got a chance. 'Cause that's going to save a big run and bring it back the other way.
Yeah,
that's excellent technique, excellent awareness, and excellent skill
that wasn't
by the OU defense.
But that wasn't happening a lot in those last 2 years with Lincoln Riley around. It was some of the defensive play was getting pretty sloppy.
Yep, it's definitely a much needed change, right, in the culture on the defensive side.
Oh yeah,
I keep seeing people, pop out and ask, man, what if Kyler had this defense? What if Baker had this defense? How many national titles would we win with the defense playing like that, man?
That Georgia loss would not have happened several years ago. Remember was it right pre-COVID when they had that huge lead and they blew the lead in the second half and took it to overtime in the first postseason game? I mean,
I feel like there are a lot of games that wouldn't have happened the way they happened.
Yeah, so many of the games wouldn't have happened that way.
Although apparently, no matter what, we will always beat Alabama.
Well, it's kind of interesting that I remember when Alabama first came to Oklahoma years ago. When I was a little kid, OU and Alabama played each other in a bowl game, and Bear Bryant swore he would never play OU again because Alabama got beat. And so before Saban, the Alabama agreed to play OU. It was like a home and home situation, and that was the first time they came since the 70s or whatever. Okay. And that was a big thing, and there was a lot of press about how everybody showed up on Tuesday from Alabama showed up on Tuesday and was parked at the Lloyd Noble, and all that. And then OU won, of course, and then that's when they went out and got Saban. Was after that season that lost. That was what started bring Saban in, and it worked, and they dominated for over a decade. And then Saban leaves, and you throw in the whole NIL thing and the transfer portal, and they can't sit there and stack the best team, the third best team, which is their second string, and the fifth best team in the nation, which is their third string.
Right?
Can't do that anymore.
What are we, like 5-2-1 against Alabama all time or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we've got the advantage there. By the way, that win was played a damper on a pretty big streak Alabama had going on. So get this, a 17 home game win streak for Alabama was just broken by Oklahoma's victory over the Crimson Tide. It was the longest active streak in college football.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I love cheering for the Sooners, man. I texted Chase Horsley so quick. Say, how about them Sooners?
Well, it's not.
Venables' job still in trouble, Chase. What are we feeling?
Yeah, the Venables thing. Venables is safe now. That was another thing that was what was talked about the post game was like Venables is no longer on the hot seat. He is safe, and and we'll see how far we can go.
Yeah, even more so if they go a win, 2 wins into the playoffs or whatever we're going to get. Even more so.
Okay, so now here's the question.
All right.
Does McTeer stay? McTeer's got to stay another year, doesn't he? Because he's not. He's going to be a third round or fourth round guy at the most if he goes pro.
And I think he should stay.
And it's not a money thing anymore. It's not a money thing. He'll get NIL over $1 million. Yeah. So
I absolutely think he should stay. He's got the offensive coordinator he wants right now. He's got a very strong defense playing.
He's got a very strong defense.
Like you said, it's complementary. I think he's in a great situation. I think he should absolutely stay because if he comes back for a full season and is healthy, then imagine what he does and how much his draft stock rises.
Yeah,
I think he should stay.
He was, especially after what the kid at Indiana did last week. It was like he's going number one, and God be with him when he goes to the Jets. But
no kidding. By the way, Indiana is still undefeated. They are the only school undefeated in football, men's basketball, and women's basketball right now.
Ooh.
They are 11-0 on the season for the first time in program history.
Yes.
En route to, what are they, ranked number 2 now?
They're ranked number 2. Indiana is a basketball school. The thing was always they were a basketball school. They're like Duke in North Carolina. They're a basketball school, not a football school. Oh, man.
Crazy. Kurt Signetti effect, man.
Yeah.
That's what they're calling it. All right, I've got a little bit more news, a couple more scores here before we go to break.
Okay.
Eli Bowen was SEC Defensive Player of the Week. Tate Sandell was SEC Special Teams Player of the Week.
Oh, yeah.
And Taylor Wine was SEC Defensive Lineman of the Week for the Sooners.
Oh, yeah. And Wine's wearing the right number, too. He's wearing 44.
44.
That's Bosworth's number.
A few more scores here. 7 college football top 25 teams took a loss, including Alabama and Texas. We already talked about the Bama game.
Yep.
But Texas was beat by Georgia. Trying to find the score real quick. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head.
As you look at, once again, it ended up being an upset week. It ended up being upset week, which is usually what happens in the first week or second week of November is the upset week. And people just start dropping. And fortunately for OU, we end up being one of the ones that got an upset in. But
it was 35-10 was where it ended.
Yep.
There you go. So Texas looked, again, really bad. They faced a really tough Georgia defense. Again, Manning threw for 251 yards and a touchdown, I guess, but he also had an interception, took 3 sacks.
Yep.
They didn't have much going on the ground either, which was a big deal.
Yep.
So that was that one. Louisville lost. Pitt lost. Iowa lost. USF lost. And Cincinnati lost. And now the Mean Green from the University of North Texas are ranked in the power rankings. I cannot believe I lived to see the day.
Oh my goodness.
The Mean Green, ladies and gentlemen.
North Texas, which is known as a fine arts school. It's known for their acting program and
Their band program.
performing arts. And I mean, I got a classmate who was a professor down there for 20 years. So yeah, they are a performing arts school. The old joke with them was that huge performing arts center that you see when you're going down I-35, at the split. That was built with OU money. Because in the 80s they would be the cupcake at the start of the season.
Yeah, they'd be those first two season games.
It'd be like, okay, Johnson, your ACL is going to get blown out, and Smith, you're going to lose your shoulder, but we're going to get a fine arts facility out of it. So, thank you for your sacrifice.
Oh man! And by the way, Texas A&M had the largest comeback in school history. They were down 30-3 at half and won 31-30.
Oh man, who put the voodoo doll down, man? Because it was working.
It was one of those weeks. So A&M got that big comeback. Now Texas Tech is 10-1 for the first time since 2008. What a week of college football, man! What a week.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That's right.
But unfortunately, we're out of time here, so we got to move on, talk about other sports. Just, hey, man, watch next week of college football. I'm telling you, folks. OU's at Missouri. Should be another great game.
No, we're home.
Yeah, I mean, we're at home. We've got Missouri. That's what I meant to say.
We got Missouri. We're at home. 11 o'clock kick. First game out.
Correct. Absolutely. Right. Oh, no, speaking of Missouri now, our morning show host, Jim Finch, is going to Missouri on a trip right after leg surgery. He's doing the surgery went well, by the way, for anybody wondering. But he's going up to Missouri now. That just popped back into my mind. Anyways, we're at Lilygrass Flowers and Decor, 7101 Northwest Expressway, Suite 400. Call 405-721-1813 to get a hold of the store or email info@lilygrass.com. They're open 8:30 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and 9 to 2 on Saturday. Get in here, take advantage of that holiday sale before the month ends. And you can also look at items for the autumn sale as well. 50% off on the holidays, 75% off on the autumn sale. We'll tell you a little bit more about it when we come back from break.
John Campbell is your local health market agent that specializes in Medicare. Instead of talking through an 800 number, talk face-to-face with your local agent, John Campbell, to answer all your questions and find the company that best fits your needs. John Campbell Health Market serves Yukon, Bethany, and the surrounding area and will travel across the state of Oklahoma to meet with you. Call John Campbell Health Markets at 405-200-8414. Call 405-200-8414.
Do it best at Evans Hardware. Since 1965, Evans Hardware has provided Midwest City with top-quality home improvement supplies and a one-of-a-kind shopping experience. At 1021 South Douglas Boulevard, Evans Hardware is family-owned and has the right products for every situation, including DIY projects, professional contracting, or quick fixes. Their satisfaction guarantee and quick turnarounds mean you'll always find what you need. So visit Evans Hardware in Midwest City. Or call 405-732-1898. That's 405-732-1898. Evans Hardware in Midwest City.
Grandview Windows and Doors is a proud sponsor of the Bethany Broncos and a part of the community serving all of Oklahoma City area with a mission to provide our customers exceptional window and door solutions. Locally owned and operated, Grandview Windows and Doors is your window and door specialist. Drop on by our showroom to get the latest colors, styles, and special pricing just in time for the fall. Call 405-787-0230 and visit us on Facebook, Grandview Windows and Doors.
Name brands and more for less at Victory Mattress Outlet. Welcome to Victory Mattress Outlet, 7101 Northwest Expressway in Oklahoma City. Family-owned and operated Victory Mattress Outlet has options for every budget, like quality 10-inch beds to high-end luxury mattresses fit for a king. You're the winner here. Shop pillows, protectors, bedroom sets, and more. And remember, the friendly people at Victory Mattress Outlet can help deliver, assemble, and set up your mattresses and furniture. Call 405-510-6988 and never pay retail price for top brands again. Victory Mattress Outlet, 7101 Northwest Expressway, 405-510-6988. That's 405-510-6988. Victory Mattress Outlet, where your best night's sleep costs less.
When technology has you screaming at the office, call Simplify Tech Solutions at 405-981-1011. Located at 4221 North MacArthur Boulevard, Simplify Tech Solutions features IT management, business phone systems, manages Wi-Fi, and offers repair and support. Simplify your Wi-Fi before the emotional breakdown by calling Simplify Tech Solutions. Locally owned and operated at 405-981-1011. 405-981-1011. Simplify Tech Solutions.
Now open at 5801 West Britain Road. It's Himador Mexican Grill. Order at Himador Mexican Grill and be treated to a spacious dining area, friendly staff, and delicious Mexican dishes. Fajitas, quesadillas, seafood, vegetarian meals, they've got it all at Himador Mexican Grill, 5801 West Britain Road. With different lunch and dinner specials every day and great prices, Himador Mexican Grill is the place to be. They open at 11 a.m. every day and come by starting August 30th to get some drinks at the brand new bar. The people love Himador Mexican Grill, and you will too. Call 405-367-7274 or email himadorgrill5801@gmail.com to reserve your table. Himador Mexican Grill is eager to serve you. 5801 West Britain Road, and call 405-367-7274. Okay, folks, that brings us back out of break here on the Game Plan. Over halfway done with our show, getting into our final two segments, live from Lilygrass Flowers and Decor. What can we say about Lilygrass that we haven't said already? What you envision, they make a reality. Bring your custom orders by Lilygrass Flowers and Decor, and they can make you a custom bouquet. You can pick it up. I believe they help deliver it. You can make the order online, in person, whatever you want to do, they'll help you out here. 7101 Northwest Expressway, Suite 400. I've got to be honest, though. Now that all of the segments I'm sitting at over here of the store are fall and winter themed, they've got some of the items I've been showing off in breaks out. My frogs are gone. My glass frogs don't look at me anymore, sitting right above the camera angle. I'm kind of missing them. I'm kind of missing the glass frogs, Mike. I don't know how to feel about this.
Oh, well.
You know, that was a very cold response.
Well, it did get down to 22. They're hibernating.
They're hibernating. Yes, they're hibernating. Hey, on this segment, we're going to talk about some more football. We're switching it into the pro scene before we come back with some breaking news and odd news from around the different leagues. So as we get into the football talk here, the first thing I want to mention is actually back in college. Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss have agreed to a 4-year, $4 million extension running through 2035. He will make $12 million per year at Ole Miss.
Oh, boy. Well, that just so much for the idea of him going to the pros. They're going to make him. Wow.
I mean, I feel like we've kind of come out of the head coach firing era of the the year and into the head coach hiring part of the year. And I'd say Kiffin got the bag there. I think that's a good decision for him.
Yeah, as I said, because that basically means that if the NFL wants to come and poach him, they're going to have to pony up about $15 million.
Yeah, pretty much, at least. Some more, let's see here. I've got this one for you now that we're getting into the actual pro talk. Actually, no, I got one more college thing. I lied. Virginia Tech and James Franklin are finalizing an agreement for him to become the school's next football coach. That broke a little bit earlier today at about an hour ago.
Yeah. Franklin, who was the coach at Penn State, who got fired because he couldn't beat top 5 teams. But
he can recruit.
Yes,
is what everybody at Virginia Tech seems to be excited about.
Yeah, and there's some fertile ground there, especially as weak as the ACC is. He can make some noise. He can give Dabo a run for his money.
Now, as we actually talk about pro news, I'm afraid I've got to start this off on a sour note because we've got two big injuries here to talk about.
Oh,
J.K. Dobbins for the Broncos, season-ending foot surgery. He is out for the season.
Ooh.
And wide receiver Calvin Ridley has broken his fibula and is out for the season for the Titans.
Ooh. Well, the Titans, he was playing well. Titans were
not, but he was a bright spot. You're correct.
He was a bright spot, so, he's done for the year. So, he just enjoy Thanksgiving at home.
Yeah. That's the silver lining there. If you got some of those, you got either of those guys on your fantasy team, you might consider dropping them because they're not coming back this year, unfortunately. course, the Broncos just got another major win last night, and a game I couldn't believe either. Denver Broncos last night 22-19 over Kansas City. Mahomes had 276 yards and a touchdown. Bo Nix had 295 yards but no touchdowns. It came down to the wire. Now, Mahomes did throw an interception, which did hurt them, but the story of the night is, again, it was maybe a little bit closer than people want to see from this Denver team, Mike. Obviously a 3-point win, but Denver put up 9 points in the third quarter, and that was the most that any team put up in any quarter in the entire game.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are kind of worried about how sustainable this Denver success is, but they moved to, what are they, like 9-2 now?
Yeah.
Something like that. And the Chiefs fall to 5-5.
Yeah, the Chiefs are old or beat up, and Denver's very, very young, and it's and that's the dynamic you're dealing with here. And then you got, what's going on with Harbaugh and the Chargers. They're just kind of. It's almost like they're waiting.
They are 7-4, but they did take that loss to Jacksonville.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they are kind of like, well, are they gonna be really, really good, or are they not? The people are joking that they need to cryogenically freeze Justin Herbert until they get an offensive line that can block, so they don't lose his prime.
Exactly.
They've got some issues, but they're still 7-4. Obviously, they're still a good team right there in the playoff picture. Looking at some more NFL news as we come down here. For the first time ever, Matthew Stafford's all-time career record is over 500. He's 116, 115, and 1.
Yeah, congratulations. All those years. Wow, that was a big hole he was in, though, considering all those years he was in Detroit. I mean, he's got a ring. He's got 3 straight years of, plus 500 ball, and it took him 4 years to crawl out of that hole. Wow.
Could you imagine how good he would be if he had played for, like, the Rams his entire career?
Oh, my goodness. And they were right down the road, too, man, back in the day. They were right down there in St. Louis. But, he ended up in Detroit.
21-19 win over the Seahawks. They've got looks like the Buccaneers next, Mike.
Yeah, the Detroit thing, just ask Billy Sims, just ask Steve Owens, just ask Barry Sanders, just ask Megatron. It was just like, they were always a team that couldn't get out of the way. Now they're good, finally. But
finally for Detroit fans,
first time since the 50s they've been this good. But yeah.
No, I can't imagine what it's be like when you have a career like that, and all those. They almost feel like lost years. They are lost
years. I mean, that's the way some of the guys have talked about it. I think Megatron especially has talked about it. It was like, man, they were lost years.
Yeah. I mean, how many lost years are we seeing for these players down in Dallas? But I don't want to talk about that. Yeah. We'll see how the game goes tonight.
Well, yeah, we're in Vegas playing the Raiders. It should go well.
Should go well.
Should be the word.
A couple of teams that it's not going well for right now, and we're going to end on this note, I think. The Falcons starting quarterback Michael Penix Jr. suffered a potentially season-ending knee injury during their loss to the Panthers. Adam Schefter says he's seeking a second opinion, but it is not looking good right now. And the NFL has officially suspended Jamar Chase 1 game for spitting at Steelers defensive back Jalen Ramsey.
Yep.
Chase denied it, but the league determined the video evidence was irrefutable.
Yeah, it was.
I saw it, but I didn't care too much about it. I knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
So Jamar Chase is officially out 1 game. Now I'm going to have to remove him from my fantasy lineup into next week. So I have to remember that one.
Yeah, you do.
But that's about it for our NFL news here. Mike, before we go to break, is there anything else you want to mention on this segment?
Buffalo. Buffalo woke up.
Oh, the loss. Yeah.
Buffalo woke up. I mean, Baker took the L, but Buffalo woke up. I mean, 44 points is like, whoa.
Yeah, it was such a turnaround coming from the loss versus Miami into that win versus Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Such a turnaround. It's insane. I was like, okay, that's going to be like one of the best games of the week, Buffalo, Tampa Bay. And then once again, Allen, after that big loss, goes and throws for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like, that Miami game was definitely the exception to the rule. Right? That was the unusual to Buffalo's usual.
Do you think because Daboll got fired on Monday, do you think he called him Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday and was talking to him? He was saying, okay, coach, what am I doing wrong? And Daboll straightened him out.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't he talking to. Okay, hold on. I definitely remember something being said like this a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Was he talking to Philly or no? Wait, when did he get fired? When was that again?
Daboll got fired last Monday.
Last Monday. Okay, so it would have had to be Green Bay, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe that was it, because I swear I remember, because this happened with in the NBA.
Yeah.
With the Knicks. I remember hearing something about this. Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up after this show.
But what I'm saying is the fact that they're up. He's Allen's up there and he's been struggling and his mechanics have been a little wonky and all that stuff. And then is the guy who made him what he was. Who then went on to the Giants. He gets fired, so there's no conflict of interest. So with him being fired, he gets on the phone to his old coach and he starts talking to him and says, "Okay,
maybe
what's the tape saying I'm doing wrong? You tell me. I need a second opinion." And did he straighten him out?
Maybe. Honestly, I believe it. I absolutely believe it.
All right.
I'm telling you. It would happen more than you would think.
Yeah. So where you at, buddy?
All right. So that's the time we got to go back to break. We're at Lilygrass Flowers and Decor at 7101 Northwest Expressway, Suite 400 here in Oklahoma City. Heading into our final segment here. Call 405-721-1813, of course, to get a hold of the store. Come by before the end of the month so you can get a hold of these great deals. Take advantage of those. Flowers, decorations, wall, ceiling, floor decorations, everything in between. They've got it all. So stop by and really do browse for yourself. Take your time moving through the store because there's something for everybody, and there's a lot to see. So we got to head to break. We're coming up on our last segment. It's the Game Plan with Luke Young and Mike Gannon here on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk.
Lilygrass Flowers and Decor is rooted in rich history dating back to 1979 in the precious memory of Flowers by Roy. Alicia Rankins and staff have carried the commitment to only offer the finest, unique floral arrangements with same-day delivery locally and nationally. What you envision, we make reality at Lilygrass Flowers and Decor, 7101 Northwest Expressway. Call Lilygrass Flowers and Decor at 721-1813 and begin a new memory.
Stan's Plumbing is your locally owned, full-service, licensed, and bonded plumbing company, proudly serving the Oklahoma City Metro for over 30 years. Stan's provides all types of plumbing services like faucet and toilet repairs, sewer repair, and trenchless pipe replacement, water heater repair and installation, both tank and tankless, plus drain cleaning and jetting. All plumbers arrive with fully stocked trucks and can resolve your plumbing problems in a timely manner. Since 1988, Stan's Plumbing has held itself to a higher standard in plumbing. Call 405-721-5100 to schedule your appointment. Stan's Plumbing, Valley Service in a dirty business. 405-721-5100.
Are you looking for some hair, some virgin hair, some extensions? Well, come to Alchemy Mink Virgin Hair and Boutique. We have moved to 10709 North Rockwell Avenue, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Suite D. Come and see all the styles from your best hairstylist, your favorite hairstylist, the award-winning hairstylist of the year, Jasmine J.G. Garrett Whitson.
Stephanie's Vintique and the Plaster Paint Company is all Oklahoma made at 3821 Asbury in Bethany, featuring vintage, chalk paint, antiques, clothing, vegan soaps and lotion, homemade cards, decor, and furniture. And space is available for rent to start your own business at Stephanie's Vintique and Plaster Paint Company. Call 405-249-3604 and see why people are coming from all over the metro for this paint and decor. Or you can visit us at theplasterpaintcompany.com and also see us on Facebook. Stephanie's Vintique and Plaster Paint Company in Bethany. Start your Vintique experience.
At the home of the Gotta Have It, you'll find Apple Tree Antique Gallery, located in the heart of downtown Bethany at 6740 Northwest 39th Expressway. Enjoy spacious shopping with up to 77 unique vendors across more than 10,000 square feet, offering everything from jewelry and clothing to one-of-a-kind treasures and so much more. Don't miss our third Friday weekend specials every month, and yes, we're open Sundays. Call us at 495-0602. Apple Tree Antique Gallery in Bethany, home of the Gotta Have It. If you're hankering for some real Oklahoma barbecue, then get yourself on over to Earl's Rib Palace at 6816 Northwestern in Oklahoma City. They have the ribs, chicken, turkey, sides, and the cobblers that will send your taste buds on a hootin'. You need catering or planning your tailgating, Earl's Rib Palace will get you set up. Dine in with friendly customer service or carry out. You're going to savor Earl's Rib Palace. I reckon I ought to give you their phone number. It's 405-843-9922. Making mouth-watering barbecue since 1996. Earl's Rib Palace.
We are Integrity Heating, Air, and Plumbing, in business for over 40 years. We've provided top-notch service for every company and residential home in the area. Let's take a look inside and let you meet some people.
Hey, Blaine. Good morning. Here we have a part of our call center. This is Tina. That's Gabby. That's our general manager, BJ. Our office hours are from 7:30 to 7:30, Monday through Friday, and we do heating and air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical. Give us a call. We always have specials. Our number one priority is your family, constant comfort, and convenience. We offer 24-hour service.
And in order for us to do that, we fully stock everything here at our warehouse. Whether it's commercial or residential, we offer plumbing, heating and air, and electrical full services. All of our guys are licensed, we're bonded and insured.
Here at Integrity, we offer senior discounts, military discounts, and public service discounts.
You worked hard for us, so let us work hard for you.
Yeah, go Broncos.
Looking for fast cash without the hassle? At Red River Credit in Oklahoma City, they've got you covered. They offer auto-secured loans up to $3,660, and the best part, no credit check. Need something different? They also provide traditional installment signature loans with a credit check. Whether you need quick cash or a long-term solution, they're here to help. Enjoy cash-friendly service with easy access online at redrivercredit.com. You can apply in person at 4571 Northwest 23rd Street, Suite A in Oklahoma City. Call 405-440-0582. And we are here coming back out of break live for the final segment at Lilygrass Flowers and Decor. Actually, just under 10 minutes here. We've kind of run long on some prior segments. That's on me. Had a lot of good stuff to talk about this show. But we've been at 7101 Northwest Expressway in Suite 400 right here, right off of Rockwell in the Brixton Square Shopping Center. Thanks so much to Lilygrass for letting us come by and do this. Remember to get on the website, lilygrass.com, browse their products, browse the classes, browse everything, because there's something in here for everybody. Those classes, DIY, make and take floral design classes. So you can come by yourself or with a group. You can make them yourself or get instructed along the process. But either way, you're going to take home some beautiful bouquets. So thanks to Lilygrass again for letting us come do this. We'll talk about them one more time before we end off the show. But now it's time for some breaking news and some random stuff from around the world. Mike, the Mariners and their first baseman, Josh Naylor, have finalized a 5-year contract, as reported by Jeff Passan this morning. It's a year or it's going to be an offseason where first basemen are in high demand, and the Mariners have just locked theirs up with big names like Pete Alonso and Kyle Schwarber on the market.
Yeah. So how much is he getting paid? They say yet?
I don't have that number in front of me,
so
but he likely made enough. Let's just say.
Usually they first say they've locked him in, and then like tomorrow they'll probably announce the number. So we'll find out probably tomorrow how much he's getting paid.
Probably. A college volleyball set in the Sun Belt Conference, the Big Sky Conference between Idaho State and Northern Arizona went quite literally the distance. Get this, Mike, set number 2 between the two teams. This is women's volleyball.
Yeah.
Ended a 44-42 victory in the set for NAZ.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah, and that was only set 2. They tied the game with that set victory. How does that even happen?
That's the equivalent of going two additional sets beyond that.
Pretty much, yeah. They played basically an entire other set.
Yeah. Woo.
There in what would be overtime for football, right?
Yeah.
Win by 2 situation going into the 40s. I've seen it go into the 30s, low 30s, a couple of times. Never the 40s.
Oof.
Never the 40s. Crazy things happen in Big Sky Conference. That's funny. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. You had something?
Talk about Shea Gilgeous first, and then I got something.
Of course, I'll keep this quick. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, the Thunder, recently beat Charlotte. They went to 13-1 on the season. That's their 5th straight win. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander had, finished 33, 4, and 7, while Chet Holmgren went 25 and 8, and Miles Bridges went 15, 4, and 4 with 3 3-pointers made in that game. Another fun one, but the Thunder are the team to be in the NBA once again.
Yeah. Oklahoma City Sparks softball team has joined that pro league that started. Was it
the newest one back by the MLB?
Yeah, the one back from the MLB, and they'll have the games, and it's an expansion draft. So the Sparks they get to protect 5. The rest are free game. So there'll be some drafting, so players will move around, and then next season they start, and games will be on ESPN and MLB.
I found the article. The Oklahoma City Spark and the Cascade are joining as expansion teams. How about that? That's the AUSL, Athletes Unlimited Softball League, for those not in the loop.
Yeah, and basically what it is, it's kind of like a Premier League relegation, where if you're a AA team, if you're a AAA team in the Premier League and you move up to the Premier League, is basically what has happened here by the Sparks moving up from wherever they were. They're moved up now to this new league. So, with the huge TV contract. So this is legit, which is great.
Cool. I do like that.
Which is great news.
Yeah, I love that for the AUSL right there.
Yeah.
Get this, Mike. Another big performance. Audie Crooks, Iowa State women's basketball player, went off. I've got no other way to explain it. 43 points in 20 minutes. 18 for 23 from the field.
Yes.
Single game scoring record for Iowa State in basically a half of play for Audie Crooks.
Whoa.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And the last thing I'm going to talk about here, the NCAA has vacated 14 Michigan State wins from 2022 to 2024 seasons due to the participation of 3 ineligible players. It now means Jonathan Smith has 0 Big Ten wins in his tenure with the Spartans. That was reported by On3 Sports.
That was for what, football, basketball? What was it?
Football.
Football. I thought it was football. Ooh, wow. Yeah. Oof. Man.
Yeah.
Spartans are kind of going through what Oklahoma State's going through, man. It's just like it's just kind of all gone kind of sideways on them. They got to do a complete rebuild.
Sideways is a good way to describe it.
It's unfortunate, like what happened up with Oklahoma State, Sorry, Chase, and I got other friends who are people who I know who are OSU fans, but hey, this is a good opportunity. They're playing hard. They're playing their hearts out. Give that to them up at OSU. They are playing their hearts out.
And you want breaking news. How about 9 minutes ago, Oklahoma baseball announced that they are signing Easton Davies out of Salt Lake Community College, a right-handed pitcher coming to Oklahoma.
That's good. That's real good. And you heard it last week. We didn't really talk about it, but the upgrading the OU baseball facilities has been cleared, so that'll come along here by the end of the decade.
I actually talked about that a lot on a solo show I did, believe it or not.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I did catch that news.
All right, and there was one other thing that popped. What was it?
MLB awards.
Yes, MLB awards. Judge got East Coast bias. Judge got a
Mike.
MLB.
Mike, there was a reason I didn't mention this.
Well, I wanted to point out that it was East Coast bias. He didn't deserve it either. Should have gone to Seattle.
It should have.
But it didn't. And of course Ohtani was unanimous because Ohtani's Ohtani. He's a unicorn.
Yeah, I could have had a whole nother show on this topic alone. The only reason they did it is because he had good offensive stats and because they wanted to say it's the first time in history both league MVPs went back-to-back. That's the only reason.
Yeah, okay.
If that storyline wasn't in play, it goes to Cal Raleigh, the more deserving of the two, frankly.
Yeah, exactly.
But I will end it there. We are out of time. We've been at Lilygrass Flowers and Decor, 7101 Northwest Expressway, Suite 400 for this episode of The Game Plan. Thanks so much to the people at Lilygrass. Stop by, talk to the friendly folks, and get yourself in on these holiday and fall deals. 50% off on the holiday deal, 75% off on the autumn sale, and that lasts, at least for the holiday, until the end of the month. EPH 511 on after this. We invite you to stick around on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk, but for us, that is it. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time.